Hi Gundam fans, Papa Snorlax here, and today we're taking a look at how Red-Green Londo AGE performed at locals this past week. So, starting off, I ended up taking second place with the deck, which I'm definitely happy with, but after playing it, I still think the blue-green version is probably the better direction for Londo Bell. That's not to take anything away from finishing second, because the deck performed pretty well overall. My biggest issue was getting enough Londo Bell cards into the trash to consistently trigger new Gundam. In the match I lost, having that effect online could have potentially changed the outcome. We played 2 rounds and my first matchup was against Red-Green Celestial Being. They were able to establish units early, but I managed to ramp into Gundam AGE-2 Double Bullet and I paired it with Amuro. And that combination became a huge problem for them. Double Bullet can reduce damage by 2 once per turn, and whenever it destroys an enemy unit, with Amuro, it can heal 2 damage as well. That allowed me to make favorable trades, pick apart their board 1 unit at a time, and continue building my own board until I eventually took the game. Now for the match I ended up losing against, it was against Blue-White Strike Freedom, which comes to no surprise, but it was a very close match. I was able to get multiple double bullets onto the field and continuously pressure their shields. The game really started shifting once I picked off their final shield though. Over the next few turns, they were able to drop multiple blockers and multiple Strike Freedoms, one after the other, and they ended up clearing out my board with Strike Freedom's ability. With that, they were able to regain control, and I just wasn't able to get that last point of damage in to win. After the rounds, I also played a follow-up match against my buddy. He was running Purple-Green Neo Zeon, and unfortunately that deck just outpaced what I was trying to do. Once Sazabi hit the board, I was constantly being forced to sacrifice units, which made it extremely difficult to establish anything meaningful or answer the board. From there, they were able to take control and close out the game. I will say, if I had to pick a MVP card for this week, it would be Gundam AGE-2 Double Bullet. I think this card is fantastic. I really hope to see it get more competitive play in the future. Being able to prevent 2 damage from anywhere once per turn opens up a ton of strategic plays and forces your opponent to respect it as a legitimate threat. In a lot of the situations, they're going to have to commit multiple resources just to remove it. So with that, it's time to move on to the final combination that was left on the roulette wheel before we completely do a reset, red-purple. And I'm going to be running Exia Rush. Starting off the build, we're running 4 copies of the level 2 2-3 Gundam Exia, along with 4 copies of Gundam Exia Repair as our early game units. For our turn 3 units, we're running 4 Gundam Kyrios flight mode, providing a rush effect to immediately start applying pressure to the enemy units. Moving into our turn 4 unit, we got 4 of the level 4 Gundam Exia as another strong turn 4 play. We're then rounding out turn 4 with 4 Gundam Kyrios, which gives us first strike. For turn 5, we're running 4 copies of the Gundam Exia LR. This helps us load more cards into the trash while also giving us the ability to draw a card and also reset our resources. Lastly, for our units, we're running 4 Gundam Exia Trans-Am as our primary finisher. Trans-Am has suppression and the ability whenever it destroys an enemy shield. If we already have 10 or more CB cards in the trash, we can destroy 1 enemy unit with the lowest HP on the field. That gives the deck a powerful late game payoff for filling the trash throughout the match. Moving into the pilots, we're running 4 Allelujah Haptism to pair with our Kyrios units. When our Link Kyrios destroys an enemy unit, Allelujah allows us to look at the top card of our deck, and if it's a CB unit, we can add it to our hand. We're then running 4 Setsuna F Seiei for our 16 potential link options with Exia. Commands, we're running 4 Airframe Seizure for additional draw power, while also helping us load CB cards into the trash. We're also running 4 Close Combat to help pick off enemy units and maintain board control. Rounding out commands, we're running 2 Damage Control to help keep our important units alive when we need them most. And lastly, we're finishing out the deck with 4 copies of Trinity Warship, giving us another way to ping enemy units and soften them up for our attacks. And that's the Exia Rush build I'll be playtesting heading into my next locals. This week, however, I'll also be attending a new type challenge, so I may not end up playing locals this weekend. After this week, I'll be completely resetting the roulette wheel, and shortly after, I'm also going to be making some changes to how the roulette challenge format works moving forward. I hope you enjoyed the roulette challenges so far, and if you want to stay up to date with everything I've been creating, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more Gundam TCG deck profiles, roulette challenges, card reveals, and updates. I'm Papa Snorlax, and thanks for watching.